Hello, I'm Connor Malin, and this is my partner,
I'm Morgan Kuhn.
and we are here with Channel 6 News.
Our hot topic tonight is should marijuana be legalized in the state of Michigan?
This is a statewide issue, but it is also handled by our federal government. What is your opinion? Should marijuana be legalized in the state of Michigan? There are many reasons why people think that marijuana should be legalized for medical purposes. One of those reasons is it is used as a medicine for soldiers and veterans suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder (PTSD). They say it helps them relieve emotional, mental, and physical anguish from pain they've had. Another reason is states are pushing for it to be taxed, 25-cent tax on every gram of marijuana sold in a medical marijuana dispensary. That, the backers say, could raise $1.3 billion extra a year for states to use for things such as schools, roads, and many other funded things from the state government. Another reason that marijuana should be legalized for medical purposes is studies have shown that unlike prescription medications, marijuana does not cause sleep deprivation, does not cause hunger or starvation, and does not cause overweight or losing of weight. It causes more of a stimulating feeling, which causes users to relax and help them get over their pain or the sickness that they may feel. And yeah, that's all I think I have for tonight. Morgan, what do you feel?
Connor, you have some very interesting information on why marijuana should be legalized. There's some also other people who think that marijuana shouldn't be legalized
And why is that, Morgan?
for psychological and physical effects, because once you smoke it, it can be psychological and cause hallucinations and cause you to do anything that you wouldn't normally do.
Okay.
And another reason that marijuana should not be legalized is that if they do legalize it in the state of Michigan, it doesn't mean that all the people that already do smoke it will buy it from a licensed doctor or get it prescribed from a doctor.
So you're saying they'll still do it under the table, if you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Illegally, yes.
Yeah. Also, another reason is that marijuana is usually known as the gateway drug. It usually leads on to other drugs such as heroin and cocaine, and can really lead to some bad things that can go for you.
Oh yeah, I had a grandpa from the 70s. Those were some good points you had there, Morgan, about marijuana. But what I have is another reason why it should be legalized, is its core democratic value. It is going to help secure the blessings of liberty. If you know what I mean by that is, people have a right to personal freedom, such as economic or health, or such as things that the government should protect that they are allowed to do. They're not stated, but they're things that are kind of implied that we are allowed to do. Like my economic freedom to buy marijuana, that is my choice and my freedom that should be protected. And I think that people should have their own personal freedom. The reason that I think it goes along with the to secure the blessings of liberty is that if someone wants to make that personal choice to smoke the marijuana medically for their health, for their concern, to help them feel better, I feel like that is a freedom that should be protected for them to be allowed to do that.
That's a good point you had there on the core democratic value, but I would have to disagree because it would be more of general welfare, and this is not good for the people. When general welfare, what it's talking about is that for the good of the people, and it's usually not good for the people if they have all these psychological and physical effects, increasing your heart rate and have hallucinations. It can do harm to themselves and others in the society.
So it's not helping the common good is what you're saying?
Yeah.
No. It's good. I like your point, Morgan. Good stuff. Well, today, as we are talking about the legalization of medical marijuana, I have a chart for you showing you states that are going to be legalizing medical marijuana that is currently being sold around the state. It is the dark green ones, as you see here. There are many like California, Washington State, and many others. And also in the light green, you see states that are legalizing marijuana to be sold later this year that are coming would be the light greens, which is just Nevada right now. Another one, color right here says legalized medical marijuana, not yet for sale. As you see, there are many states around here. And these could legalize in the next 5 years. But as you see, there are some states like Texas and Florida who are not pushing for it at all right now. And here is another chart I brought for you. And this is what it would look like inside of a medical marijuana dispensary and how it could be sold. This is what it would look like. You have your person you come through with your medical marijuana card. You tell them what kind of marijuana you would like to purchase, and they would give you a bag and all your utensils and things you would need. You pay the man, and then it goes for the state's funds, and that is how it would work.
This is what would happen to someone that would be on the effects of medical or recreational marijuana. They could get in a car crash and it could cause serious damage, not to themselves or in the people in the car, but to other people in the society as they...
Is that a car crash from someone who was on
Yes,
marijuana?
that
Oh,
is
wow.
exactly what...
That looks pretty devastating.
Yes.
Yeah. Very good stuff on those visuals we had there, Morgan, don't you think? Well, another thing that I was going to bring up is in Colorado recently, Amendment 64 was passed in November of 2012, which allows the use and regulation of cannabis for adults 21 and over, as well as commercial, cultivation, manufacture, and sales. It would be similar to like buying alcohol at age 21. This amendment is a Colorado state only right now. Many other states are pushing for amendments just like that. But the economy in Colorado, since Amendment 64 has passed, it has went up. They say it was, backers say 46% for sales. So what is your take on Amendment 64 and all that mumbo jumbo, Morgan?
Well, I have something similar to that when it's the USA versus Oakland Cannabis Buyers Cooperative in Jeffrey Jones.
And that was a court case?
Yes, that is an excellent case of where an unlicensed doctor has given prescriptions to people who he had thought had needed them, but really didn't. And it was just a way to get them drugs, which...
So people were abusing the system.
Yes. People were abusing the system and the drugs, and it did not turn out well.
Did it lead to other addictions?
Yes.
Ah.
And then he ended up losing the case. Jeffrey Jones did.
Good information there. We've had a pretty hot discussion here, but I'm gonna have to tell you a little something, Morgan. I don't believe the mumbo jumbo you've been throwing at me here. I'm gonna have to say that marijuana should be legalized because I think that the effects that you have brought up were minor to what the good that it could do. I think the good outweighs the bad in this situation where it could help with many medical disorders, it could help with grossing money for our government, and I also think that it could help with prescription drug abuse as well. Because why not give them something more natural than something that could cause very many other effects, like prescription drugs and things like that. I think that the psychological effects that do come from people who smoke marijuana are people with past disorders such as ADD or paranoia or schizophrenia. It causes that to induce and get more into somebody. Another reason would be for things such as like birth defects and that. If someone is pregnant, they shouldn't be smoking marijuana no matter what. And that's how I think birth effects and all that thing could be completely gone around.
Well, Connor, I don't think marijuana should be legalized.
You don't feel the same?
No, I don't. Because I think your points are invalid, and when marijuana is abused and can be used as a gateway drug and it leads to other bad drugs, I don't think it's going to be used as a prescription.
You think people are going to abuse it?
And I feel like even though they do have it legalized and doctors will sell it, people still will sell it illegally and the money will not go to the government at all.
That's a good point. I understand where you're coming from on that. And this concludes our discussion tonight, Morgan, on whether marijuana should be legalized in the state of Michigan.
Join us next time. From all of us at the station, good night. Stay classy, Midland High.
Do you think marijuana should be legalized in the state of Michigan?